to make everything right and show me the way to just be love and show me the way to just be love.
Hello, this is Maya Diamond. Welcome to Rewire Your Attachment Style. I'm so excited to be here with you all. This has been a long time coming, and it feels so good to bring this into fruition. On this podcast, I'm going to be interviewing secure functioning couples, experts, and sharing with you my deepest wisdom around the area of love, dating, attachment, trauma, relationships, intimacy, and sexuality. I'm a dating and relationship coach based in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I have been working in this field for the last 12 years. Every day, I work with people who are looking to find their beloved partner, and it is my greatest joy to help them do that. But there is a specific area that is my expertise that I work in that is truly my life's work, which is helping people unwind their attraction to available partners in toxic relationships, heal their deepest wounds, attachment wounds, and become internally secure and find a healthy, available partnership. So if that's you, especially this podcast is going to be really helpful. And if that's not you and you just want to learn more about love, dating, relationships, trauma, attachment, and sexuality, you're also going to learn a lot. So this has been both a personal and professional journey. I'm going to share an important part of my personal story with you so that you can get to know me and find out why this work of attachment, love, relationships, and healing is so very important to me, and I believe is so very important to your personal happiness and fulfillment as well. And as you're listening, you may find yourself in my story. In other words, parts of it may resonate with your story or remind you of something from your childhood. And I just want you to know that that is the goal. Because the more that we can have a deeper understanding of our love maps, as I like to call them, the more we can create what we desire in our love lives. So when I was a baby, my parents were having a difficult time. We were living in Santa Monica near the ocean, and my father was trying to make it as a screenwriter in Hollywood. Unfortunately, that path led him to become addicted to the white stuff that was flowing through LA at the time, which was cocaine. This created a lot of chaos and fighting between my parents. Then my parents eventually split up when I was 8 months old. This was really challenging for my family on many levels. Flash forward to when I was 5 years old, we moved to Western Massachusetts because my mom fell in love with a tofu maker named Tom. We moved in with him and his 2 children, kind of like the Brady Bunch, with my mom and her 2 daughters, me and my sister, and him and his 2 sons. When we were living in Western Mass, I would see my dad just a couple visits a year. At the age of 10, we moved back to California, to Santa Barbara, because my mom wanted us to get to know our dad better, and also her and my stepdad were having issues. It was really hard for me to leave the friends and family I had grown to love in Western Mass. But after a little while in Santa Barbara, I transitioned and ended up falling in love with Santa Barbara and making amazing friends there. In the early years in Santa Barbara, I was this awkward preteen and was supposed to get to know my dad right at the time when young girls are starting to go through puberty and separate from their father. So unfortunately, it was really hard for us to connect, I think for multiple reasons. Number one, for me, I had a lot of leftover pain and residue from his previous absence in my life. And number two, he had a lot of traits that made it genuinely hard for us to connect and for me to feel safe around him. So then at the tender age of 15, I went to boarding school in Massachusetts and was again on the opposite side of the country from him. And after that, I went to UC Santa Cruz for college and ended up staying there for 3 years after college. Unfortunately, when I was only 24 years old, he had a heart attack. And so for that last year of his life, We spent more quality time together, and I could finally see him a little clearly, and vice versa. In addition, this was the first time in his life he was truly sober. So we would go out to dinner and have sweet discussions, and were able to connect. Unfortunately, a year later, he had another heart attack, and after 10 days in the ICU, he died. It was tragic and surreal and deeply impacted my life moving forward. I share this story with you because my relationship with my father deeply impacted my relationship with men. As a result of this insecure attachment growing up in relationship to my father, for 10 years, from my mid-20s to mid-30s, I was drawn to men who triggered the unfelt emotions that I had in regards to my father: disappointment, anger, frustration, grief, and pain. It was a different man, but the story was the same. A lot of the time, I felt not worthy, not chosen, and depleted, as I was working so hard to get the love from these men that I didn't get from my father. I was stuck in the pattern of attracting and choosing unavailable men, and it was exhausting, depleting, and frustrating. And during those 10 years, I was studying, reading, researching, healing, going to therapy, coaches, as well as practicing as a therapist and a dating coach. I was looking for answers and working on healing so I could have the life that I dreamed of and have the satisfying and fulfilling partnership I dreamed of. It wasn't until I realized I had this pattern till I was actually able to shift it, which is why when we want to change something in our lives, awareness is always the first step. And which is why I'm so excited for you to find something in my story that might be helpful for you and spark that deeper awareness. And the other piece that changed everything for me and really helped me heal faster and deeper, both for myself and my clients, was deeply learning how to heal the attachment wounds from my childhood and understanding how attachment theory was underlying every relationship, especially the romantic ones. Which is why I became specialized in helping my clients heal their deepest childhood wounds and trauma so that they can become internally secure and find a healthy, secure partnership. So basically, I'm an attachment nerd. I research it, I live it, and on the daily, I help my clients heal their patterns and find the secure, healthy relationship so they don't have to constantly focus on their relationship. Instead, they can have more time for their purpose, their business, their health, their creativity. Because when we're in an insecure and toxic relationship, it is very hard to excel in other areas of life. Which is why healing your love life and having it be loving, supportive, nurturing, and growthful is so crucial. When this area of your life is working as opposed to not working, it literally positively impacts every other area of your life. Also, it's important for me to let you know that this journey that I am on it's important for you to let you know that this is a journey that I'm on and that you are on, and that I am not 100% perfect in all these areas that I talk about. And that I'm still learning and growing. And that although I have a lot of answers and wisdom, there's always more to know and always more to learn. So I come to this from a place of humility. And I'm also very excited to learn, grow, and heal more from this podcast, from this process of hosting this podcast. So I also want to add that no matter what attachment style you currently find yourself, whether you're anxious, avoidant, disorganized, or secure, and obviously we're all a combination of all four, but we, usually fall into one or two that predominate. None of these styles are wrong, bad, or something to be ashamed of. The more that we have compassion, understanding, and awareness for where we are on the attachment spectrum, the more we can bring conscious awareness to the ways we behave in relationship that might be challenging or destructive or not contributing positively to our relationship, the more that we can have the intimacy that we desire. So by healing, growing, and bringing compassion and awareness to the parts of us that may be afraid of love or abandonment or engulfment, the more that we can have true wholeness and the more that we can love and accept those parts, the more that we can bring our whole selves into relationship and have more love, authentic connection, intimacy, and passion. So this is my mission, to help you expand your capacity to give and receive love. So I just want to say I'm super excited to be hosting this podcast. I'm excited for you to dive deep, and I'm excited for this community of love workers to build. And I use that term because part of my philosophy is that love, even when we have secure relationships, take work. Just like any other area of our lives, we need to cultivate it and tend to it and give it energy. And that is work. Or play, either whatever you want to call it. It's giving that energy to this area of our lives that's so important. And so I feel like we've been fed the belief that love is like the movies where you just meet the person and everything is perfect after that. And the truth is, I think that is where there's so much divorce. That's why there's so much divorce in this country, is that people don't believe that they need to do the work of relationship. And the truth is, you do. So this podcast will be touching into not just dating, but also relationships. Because even when you find the right person, you need to know how to actually be a great partner in the relationship. Both are so, so valuable. And I want you to have the love life that gives you fulfillment, nourishment, pleasure, but also growth and healing. So welcome to Rewire Your Attachment Style with Maya Diamond. It is my total pleasure to be here. And please, if you like what you hear, subscribe to the podcast. And I would love, love, love to receive your reviews. Thank you so much for listening to Rewire Your Attachment Style. This is Maya Diamond. To receive your 2 free gifts to help you on your journey to lasting love, and to start rewiring your attachment style today, go to empowerlove.us/love.